Welcome to Abettersociety.info. My name is Joe Bass. So what is this all about, Abettersociety.info? Well, let's just take a few minutes and talk about that. If you looked at the news today, did you find out that everything was just great in the world yesterday? There was no more poverty, crime, illiteracy, no more governments repressing or murdering their people. Well, if that's what you saw, you definitely look at some different news sources than I look at. Because often when I look at the news, things are not going just great in the world today. And that's what this site is about. It's about trying to make the world a better place. But before we go on to the first subject of this, I want to tell you what the site is not about. It isn't about the daily news or the bad things that go on. It's about trying to make things better. It's not about technology. It's not about good versus evil. It's not about liberal versus conservative or the fragmented studies of our social world. We're going to be talking about some broad scope societal issues. And I think if we look at broad scope societal issues, we'll be able to do better in arranging our world society so that it'll be better for all of us. Now in this first video, I want to talk about two categories of changes that have taken place in the world during my lifetime. The first category has to do with technology. During the short time that I have lived, we have made incredible strides in technology, and we continue to make these strides on a daily basis. But during the same period of time, we're still struggling with the same societal issues that people have struggled with for thousands of years. So it's this major difference that I want us to talk about just for a few minutes. When I was a child, a few people still rode horses to town. A few years later, we sent people to the moon. During the first part of the 21st century, some really wealthy people purchased recreational rides to the International Space Station. We send robots to Mars to roam about the surface, take pictures, send back analysis of soil samples, and send back weather reports. The first telephone that we had when I was a little kid, we had to wind the handle up. We had to crank this thing to make it work. Today we have these little cell phones that you can, not only can you talk to people, you can send text messages, you can connect to the internet, you can take pictures, both still and motion. You can do basic math with the things. You can do stuff with those cell phones that I don't even understand. But these are all technology advances. When I was a child, my father was overseas during World War II. My uncle was killed right after the Battle of the Bulge. I can remember the day when the telegram came telling my mother and my grandparents about his death. That was not a very happy day for any of us, particularly for a 3-year-old. During the time when I was in grade school, there was a National Guard infantry unit training for the Korean War right down the street from our home. I was in the Army during Vietnam. My cousin was killed there. My son spent 3 years in Korea while he was in the Army, and he spent 13 months as a DoD civilian in Iraq in support of military operations. So if you think about it, what I'm seeing here is that during my lifetime, we've made these incredible advances in technology, but we're still dealing with the same societal issues that people have dealt with for generations and generations and generations. And I think we can do a lot better. And that's what we want to talk about in this site. Now, I know that when you think about the magnitude of what we're discussing here, that this is a pretty large and serious undertaking. And some people are going to say, uh-oh, here comes another one of those foolish liberals. And others are going to say, uh-oh, here comes another foolish conservative. And others are going to say, oh, what has this guy been smoking? But what we would ask you to do is hang on a little bit, watch a few more of our videos, and find out what the site's about before you decide to come back often and see if you're interested in what we have to offer. So this is Joe Bass for Abettersociety.info signing off. Talk to you later.